Hi, I'm Angela Morrow from Pink Flamingo Jewelry and Creations, and this is my first video. I wanted to share with you how I made this necklace and pumpkin earrings. I made them to look like crochet with gold leaf. So I got these stamps from, I believe, Amazon, and I wanted to make something that looked like it was crochet without having to actually crochet. So I mixed together 1 part Primo White and 1 part Primo Pearl. I conditioned it, and then I sprayed it with water. I learned that from Samantha at Jessima Tutorials. She has a lot of great information. So here I am squishing it down with my fingers into the pattern, the design. And it doesn't look like I'm pushing very hard, but I am pushing quite hard. I want to get a good pattern out of it because I didn't want any like areas that didn't look crochet. And I tried that before and had kind of a lot of problems with it. Sorry, I have a squeaky chair, so I apologize for that. So if you see any way I can do it better, please let me know. I really prefer the water. Oh, here I made a mess up, so I included it. I was rolling it out, trying to get the back kind of smooth, and it came up. So I didn't want to keep going because I knew that it would just re-imprint that pattern, and it would make it look weird. So I'd have to start all over. So the drawback to using water to press it is you have water everywhere and clay doesn't stick when it's wet. But I really prefer it over cornstarch. I just don't like the way cornstarch feels. I don't know. What about you? What do you prefer? Water, cornstarch? So here I'm cutting off the extra so that I can make that into a pattern as well. So I apologize for my horrible recording and videography skills. What's that word? Again, this is my very first video, so I'm not quite competent yet, or confident either. Anyway, so I laid down my first one. Sorry, it's off screen. And I'm trying to get all the water off of it because I want to lay down one on top of it and combine those two together. I wanted the back to look the same as the front. And I didn't want to have to use, and here I'm trying to dry that one as well. I didn't want to have to use liquid clay. And I wanted them to stick together. So now that they're stuck together, or at least on top of each other, I used some parchment paper to go over it. I think it's not quite parchment paper. This is thinner. I'm not for sure what it is, but I've been using it a lot lately and I really like it. So I need to figure out what it is so I can get some more of it. So I did, another thing I just did was burnish it, which Samantha from Jessima Tutorials also, she burnishes everything. And so I've learned that maybe I need to be burnishing more, because a lot of my stuff would come together or apart. I had made these earrings for my mom and she lost one of the earrings. So this is why I'm remaking them for her. And one of the things that I noticed is when I added them together, the front and the back, they did pull apart when baking a little bit. So I really wanted to make sure that they stuck well. And I think I added liquid polymer clay, but the backs weren't flat. I think I'd already cooked them or cured them in the oven before I did that. So as you can see, this one comes up in the cutter and I'm able just to push it out, I think with my finger very gently, and it comes right out. I'm going to show you in a second. I really wanted to do this pattern because I wanted to do sweaters. I had made little turkeys and they were just too small. I didn't realize when I bought the cutter how small they were. So I bought a sweater to put the turkey on the sweater to make sweater earrings. And so this one sticks. I guess I didn't spray it with water. I'm not for sure what happened. But anyway, so I had to use the tool to get it to come out and it breaks. So I'm going to show you in a little bit how I fixed that. And I did use polymer clay or liquid clay, excuse me, for that. I used Sculpey. But I used my little pokey tool. I'm sure that's the official name for it, to get the little pieces out. I'm sorry, that's off screen. So here I have completed cutting everything out. And now on my little pokey tool, please tell me what the name of that is. So I keep using the word pokey tool because that's what I think of it as. Right now you can't really tell, but I have put liquid Sculpey on the end of liquid clay on the end of my pokey tool, and I'm just swiping it on the inside of the two pieces, and I'm pushing them back together so that they will be connected. And it worked out really well. When I was done, they were connected once they cooked and everything. So you really can't tell that there's liquid clay on the end of it because I don't get very much. It doesn't take very much at all, but I wanted it in those grooves, so that was the easiest way to do it. So I don't show you, for some reason, how to do it on the pumpkins, but what I'm doing is cleaning up the edges because I hate sanding. It is my least favorite thing to do. I'm not very good at it. I probably should practice a lot more, but here I am squishing in the sides just so that it's a lot neater. And I've already done some of that when I pulled it up off of the tile. You know, usually some of that is left over, so then I clean that off then and try to pat down the sides. And really the one I need to do is that pumpkin that's right there in the middle. So I do that off camera, because why would I do it on camera, right? So here they are all complete and ready to go in the oven, and I'm moving them onto that wax paper, parchment paper. I'm not for sure what it is. I really do need to figure it out before I run out of it. I like it on the tile because the tile is big and sturdy and I don't drop things and it goes straight into the oven. But if you've done anything with polymer clay, if you bake it directly on the tile, the back will have a shiny back to it and it's sporadic. So if it were completely shiny, that would be fine. But because I wanted to go with the crochet pattern on the back, I didn't want it to be shiny, so I'm putting it on this paper. So the next thing I'm doing is, before I cook it, I'm putting in an eye pin, and if you'll notice on the left-hand side, you can kind of see the eye pins down there in the corner. The eye pins are too long, and so if anybody knows where to get short eye pins that would fit directly in without me having to cut it. So what I do is cut it, and then I use the extra little pieces to stick into the tops, and I hold them between my fingers, and then I push down gently and carefully. And then I think what would be better is if I just used the eye pin. So what I take is this glue, and I pulled out the eye pins, and of course it's off camera again. And I've already cut the eye pins, you can see to the left, while they were baking. So they have baked with the eye pins and the metal and the wires in them. And I take out the eye pin, I stick it in the top of the glue, and then I stick it re-stick it back into the hole. And I usually let it dry for quite a while. I usually just let it set for about a day, just to make sure it's good and glued. I don't want it coming out. And also, if you'll notice, I got glue on my favorite pliers, so I wipe it with water and just get the glue off. So here I am. I decided to just take them all out so that I can replace them with the eye pins. It really is easier if you use eye pins in there, and they are kind of a pain to stick in. Drilling it is worse to me because I always mess up, and now I have a billion holes. So if I put them in there when it's uncooked, when it's raw, then I don't have to, I can fix it before it completely is cured. So here I am. They are all done and the glue is dry. I have this mica powder. I think I bought it at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't know the name of it. It's not on the label of any of them, and I've had them for quite a while. So what I do is, I guess I start using them. So I have quite a few, and this is just a white. It's a little bit of a ivory, but it's more white than ivory, especially when I put it on the pumpkins. And so these are what the backs look like. This one I'm working on is the back, and then there's the front. So you can still see the pattern of the cutter that the cutter made, and I'll put in the description where I got those cutters from. I'm pretty sure I got them off of Etsy. I'll have to go find out who I got them from, and the sweater one as well. I don't know if you noticed, but the sweater, the creator sent me also little hats that go with the sweaters, and I thought they were really cute. So I had to make some. So once I put the mica powder on, I use this DuraCoat matte varnish because I didn't want it to be shiny. And now I'm ready to finish. You can see the one that my mom lost that I made for her before in the upper right-hand corner. It's a little bit more ivory than the white ones that I did. Almost a little more yellow. I'm going to be using those to make hers, the little leaves to make hers. And that was all I had. I only had 3, so I'm using the bigger ones to make the ones that I'm going to show you. And I'm pulling out all my supplies that you can't see off screen. So my least favorite part, besides the sanding, is taking the jump rings, and I don't mind separating them. As you can see, I was a little aggressive there, but putting them back it's kind of hard for me to see at this point. I have eye issues, so I really want to make sure that they match up, and so it takes me a little bit to see. I have gotten some different glasses to see if that would help. I'm having to do something that would take too long to explain. But anyway, so it's just like me looking at it is like this camera not focusing in on it. And so I have to look at it really carefully. So it takes me quite a while to close them. So what's your least favorite part? And I decide I'm thinking about using this bell, but I decide I don't want to use it. I did try it on and decided I didn't like it. Does anybody else struggle with when you're putting on your earrings, like which direction? I have to really focus and think about it. I don't know if I showed you here, but I have to open them up and then really think, okay, which way is the front? Which way is the back? Which way? And a lot of times I do have to open them back up and redo it. So I don't know if you struggle with that too. And now I get to focus on closing it again. I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope that you found some useful tips and techniques, and I would love for you to give me some advice if you know of a way that I could do it better. I would appreciate it. And here they all are done. Here's the earring and the necklace. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.